Today we're going to be adding and subtracting polynomials. Don't forget to take notes, they're worth 6 points, and to do the survey worth 4 points. A couple of things to keep in mind before we get started. You can only combine like terms. Like terms means same variables and same exponents. The other thing to remember is to watch your signs. That's very important in adding and subtracting polynomials. Here, we're adding polynomials because of the positive in the middle. But this looks a lot like when we simplified one side of an equation to solve an equation. And so we're going to do exactly that. We've got to get rid of our parentheses first. Well, the first polynomial is not being multiplied by anything. So we can just drop the 9x plus 3y minus 10. Now the second polynomial is being multiplied by a positive 2. Notice I circled the sign with it. So I'm going to do a positive 2 times x, which is a positive 2x. And then I'm going to do a positive 2 times a negative 5y. So 2 times negative 5 is negative 10. Keep your variable. And 2 times 2 is 4. So I put a plus 4. Now we're going to combine our like terms. Remember, we're looking for same variable, same exponent. So 9x goes with a positive 2x. Again, I'm underlining the sign with it. So 9x and 2x make 11x. Then I've got a positive 3y and a negative 10y. So positive 3 and negative 10 give me negative 7y. And then finally, I've got negative 10 and positive 4. So negative 10 and 4 make negative 6. So my answer is 11x minus 7y minus 6. It does not simplify any further because these are now unlike terms and you cannot combine them. So in my second example, again, here in the first polynomial, there's nothing to be multiplied by. So I'm going to drop the 2x squared plus 9x minus 1. But the second polynomial is being multiplied by a positive 1. Well, 1 times anything is just itself. So 1 times x squared is a positive x squared. 1 times x, which again is a 1x, is just 1x. And then 1 times negative 7 is still negative 7. And then I'm going to combine like terms. So I've got a 2x squared here and an x squared, which is a 1x squared. 2x squared plus 1x squared, that 1x squared is positive, is 3x squared. And then I'm going to look for my x's. So a positive 9x and a positive 1x is positive 10x. Then I've got a negative 1 and a negative 7. Keep your signs. Those combined make negative 8. Now I've got all my like terms combined. So my solution is 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. My next example, I've got x squared minus 2x plus 3 minus 3 times 2 plus x squared minus 9x. So again, the first polynomial is not being multiplied by anything, so I can drop it straight out of the parentheses. The second polynomial is being multiplied by a negative 3. So I'm going to do negative 3 times 2, negative 3 times 1x squared, and negative 3 times a negative 9x. So negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 times a positive 1 is negative 3. Keep your x squared. Negative 3 times a negative 9x is a positive 27x. Now we're going to combine like terms. This is a 1x squared. We're looking for other x squareds. Watch your sign here. It's a negative 3x squared. So 1 and negative 3 make negative 2. keep the x squared. Then I've got a negative 2x and a 27x. So negative 2 and 27 make a positive 25. Keep the x. And then 3 and negative 6 make a minus 3. So my solution is negative 2x squared plus 25x minus 3. For my next example, I've got xy minus 8x plus 4y minus 2y minus 2x plus xy. So the first set is not being multiplied by anything, so I can drop it out of the parentheses. So I have xy minus 8x plus 4y. Now the second polynomial is being multiplied by a negative 1. So negative 1 times 2y is negative 2y. Negative 1 times a negative 2x is a positive 2x. A negative 1 times a positive 1xy would be negative 1xy. Now I combine like terms. Well, I'm looking for xy's. There's one at the beginning and one at the very end. The first one's positive and the second one's negative, so 1 and negative 1 make 0, so these just cancel out or eliminate each other. Then I'm looking for my x's, so I got negative 8x and a positive 2x, and I get negative 6x. Then I've got a positive 4y and a negative 2y. Together, that makes 2y. And this one doesn't simplify any further, so you've got negative 6x plus 2y. For the next example, here we're going to drop the 4xy plus 3x squared z right out of the parentheses. Then we're going to multiply the second polynomial by a positive 2. So 2 times 3 is positive 6xy. 2 times positive 2 is positive 4x squared z. 2 times a negative 1 is negative 2x. So when I combine my like terms, I've got an 4xy and a positive 6xy here. So that makes 10xy. And then I've got a 3x squared z and a 4x squared z. Both of those are positive. So that makes 7x squared z. Then I'm left with this negative 2x. All I'm going to do is drop it down because it has nobody to combine with. So my final answer is 10xy plus 7x squared z minus 2x. Finally, my last example, we're going to drop the first part out of the parentheses, so I get z cubed plus 8z squared minus 4z, and then multiply the second polynomial by a negative 1. So negative 1 times 2z squared is negative 2z squared. Negative 1 times negative 7 is a positive 7. Keep your z. Now combine like terms. So z cubed, there's no other z cubed, so I just drop that one down. 8z squared and a negative 2z squared makes positive 6z squared. And then negative 4z and a positive 7 make positive 3z. So this is my solution. So don't forget, you can only combine like terms, and like terms means same variable and same exponent. And make sure you watch your signs. Also, make sure you took notes. Everything needs to be filled in. Go do the survey now. Bring your questions and filled out notes to class tomorrow.